Music theater, that's Broadway or show music, is another distinctive American music. In music theater, the music is written to amplify the character in each song and possibly advance the action or reflect upon what the character is feeling at the time. Tempo, pitch, dynamics, rhythm, tone color choices are all fused with the show's plot and characters to bring a total package to an audience. Music theater is a popular music genre that fuses script, acting, speech, music, singing, dancing, costumes, scenery, and spectacle. It is similar to opera but has spoken dialogue. Its roots go back to operetta from Europe. It started in New York City with the first musical, The Black Crook, in 1866. Until the 1960s, songs were in AABA form. In 1927, we get the complete integration of song, humor, production numbers into a single, inextricable artistic entity with Showboat by Jerome Kern. After 1940 came carefully crafted plots. Music numbers grew out of those plots, and more sophisticated music was composed. Rock music was added in the 60s and 70s. After the 40s, social themes were explored to urge racial harmony and civil rights. Plots dealt with tolerance of a different ethnic origin, sexual orientation, and color. In the 1970s, rock musicals flourished. In the 1980s and 90s, you have the influence of European mega-musicals with large casts, sets, and special effects. A lot of dance and athleticism, too. Les Miserables and Cats and Phantom of the Opera are examples. They're very visual and grand. The longest-running musical is Phantom of the Opera, which started in the 1980s, and it's still running today in New York City. Your leading creators are Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein, with Oklahoma and South Pacific, just examples, Sound of Music, and Stephen Sondheim, who wrote Into the Woods, Sweeney Todd, and did the lyrics for West Side Story. Andrew Lloyd Webber is another example of a creator. He wrote Cats, Phantom of the Opera, and we have Stephen Schwartz doing Wicked. Contemporarily, we have plots based on literary works, for example, Jekyll and Hyde. Recently, there is a familiarity embraced by producers who usually want a safe investment because of the expense. It's very expensive to produce a Broadway show. So there are revivals of previously successful shows like Fiddler on the Roof, Annie Get Your Gun. The exception to this rule is that Wicked was a brand new show and it cost $8 million before it even opened. Fantasy stories are very popular, like Wicked and Lion King.